You click because your putter might be the most overpriced club in your bag, and part of you already suspects it. Picture yourself standing in the pro shop holding a putter with a $400 tag, and the kid behind the counter tells you the milled face rolls the ball truer. You want to believe him? I wanted to believe him too. But here is the verdict I built this whole video around, and I will prove every word of it with real numbers from real testing. The best putter for most amateur golfers costs under $150, and the $400 flat stick sitting next to it will not save you a single stroke that the cheaper one cannot. I know that sounds like something a guy says to feel better about being cheap. It is not. I have owned the expensive ones. I have owned the bargain ones. And I stood on a practice green with a launch monitor and a roll tracking setup and made myself watch the numbers until I could not lie to myself anymore. Stick with me, because at the end, I'm going to show you a lie angle discovery from an independent robot test that quietly fixes the number one reason your putts miss, and it costs you nothing if you already own a putter you like. This is not just for people buying new. This works on the putter in your bag right now. Let me take you back about 3 years. I was on the green at my home course, 11 feet from the hole, brand new premium putter in my hands, the kind with the name that makes other guys nod. I pulled it 3 inches left. Again, and the thought hit me standing there in the afternoon sun. I paid $380 to miss this exact same putt I used to miss with a $50 putter. That was the day I stopped trusting the tag and started trusting the tape measure. So let me show you what I found, tier by tier, because the truth about putters is not what the industry sells you. Here is the first thing that shook me. Putting is where you lose the most strokes, and it is also where the marketing lies the most. Think about it. On a par 72 course, roughly 40% of your shots are putts. If you shoot 90, that is around 36 putts in a round. The driver you obsess over hits 14 shots. The putter hits more than double that. And yet the driver gets robot tested to death while everybody just assumes the shiny putter is better because it feels expensive in the hands. I fell for the feel trap for years. Feel is real, but feel is not roll. Those are two different things, and the industry blurs them on purpose. A soft insert can feel buttery and still push the ball offline. A firmer face can click loud and roll dead straight. Your hands cannot tell you the truth about a putt. Only the hole can, and only the numbers can. So the first question I needed answered was simple. Does spending more money actually make the ball go in the hole more often? And the honest answer, once I dug into the independent data, made me a little angry. Let me start at the bottom, under $100, because this is where the real story hides. The putter I keep coming back to in this range is the Cleveland Huntington Beach SOFT line. You can find them right around the $80 to $100 mark, sometimes less. It has a milled face pattern with variable grooves, the kind of technology the $400 models brag about, and it comes in 11 or 12 different head shapes, so you can match a blade or a mallet to your stroke. When I rolled it side by side against putters costing 4 and 5 times more, the ball came off the face with the same end-over-end roll, same distance control on a 20-foot lag, same make rate inside 6 feet. I want to be specific here, because specific is the only thing that matters. On a flat 15-foot putt, I rolled 20 balls with an $80 Cleveland and 20 balls with a premium milled blade. The average stopping distance from the hole with the cheap one was inside 18 inches. With the expensive one, it was inside 17 inches. 1 inch. On a putt where the difference between them cost you $300. 1 inch is not a stroke. 1 inch is noise. The other bargain hero is the Wilson Harmonized line, which you can often grab for around $40. Is it as refined as the premium stuff? No. The finish is not as pretty, and the head shapes are limited. But the ball goes in the hole on short putts inside 5 feet, which is where rounds are actually won and lost. It held its own with everything I put against it, $40. And here is where the tension starts, because you have to ask yourself the obvious question. If a $40 to $100 putter rolls the ball as well as a $400 putter, then what exactly are you paying for when you spend the extra $360? Hold that question, because the answer is not what you think, and it is coming. Now, let me move up to the $100 to $200 tier, because this is where I actually think most golfers should live. And this is where the smartest money in golf sits. The Odyssey White Hot OG belongs in every conversation about putters at any price. The White Hot insert first showed up on tour more than 20 years ago, back in the early 2000s. And here is the part that should stop you cold. That same basic insert technology has won more on the professional tours than almost anything else in history. And today you can buy it brand new for around $180 or used and perfect for under $100. A putter design that won major championships is now a mid-priced club. Let that sink in. The performance did not get worse. The price just came down because the marketing spotlight moved to the shinier new toy. I rode the White Hot OG in the 2-ball mallet and the 1 blade. Both gave me that soft but responsive feel and a beautifully consistent roll. On a 10-foot putt, my make rate matched anything in my testing. This is a putter that has zero excuses attached to it. If you miss with this putter, it is you, not the club. And that is exactly what you want, because it means you never have to wonder if a more expensive one would have helped. The TaylorMade Spider sits in this range too, and in the higher ranges. And it earns its spot for a completely different reason that we need to talk about, because it leads straight into the biggest secret in putting. The Spider is a high moment of inertia mallet. That is a fancy way of saying the weight is pushed out to the edges of the head, so when you strike the ball off center, the face does not twist as much. And here is a real number that matters. On mishits toward the toe or heel, a high-stability mallet like the Spider can hold your ball speed and direction dramatically better than a small blade. Independent testing has shown that a forgiving mallet can cut the distance loss on a toe strike roughly in half compared to a traditional blade. Half. On the putts, you do not strike perfectly, which, if you are honest, is most of them. The forgiving head keeps the ball closer to the hole. So the verdict on this middle tier is clear. Between $100 and $200, you can own a putter that is every bit as good as anything on any tour bag. The White Hot OG for feel and pedigree, the Spider for forgiveness. There is no performance ceiling you are hitting by spending less. None. But that raises the bigger, more uncomfortable question, and now we have to talk about it honestly. If everything I need is under $200, then somebody has been very good at convincing me I need to spend $400, and that somebody has been doing it for a long time. Here is how the game is played, and I say this as a man who handed over the money more than once. The premium putter business is built on 3 things, and none of them are about making more putts. The first is milling. A fully milled putter is cut from a solid block of steel, and yes, it is a beautiful object. It feels dense and precise, but rolling ball after ball, the milled face did not outperform a good insert in any way I could measure on the green. The milling is craftsmanship, and craftsmanship is real, but you are paying for jewelry, not for strokes. The second thing is the name stamped on the back. There is one premium brand in particular that carries a resale mystique so strong that guys buy them almost like collectibles. And look, if owning a beautiful object makes you happy, I am not here to take that away from you, but do not confuse the joy of owning it with a lower score. The scorecard cannot read the name on the putter. And once you see that clearly with a putter, you start seeing it everywhere else in the bag. The driver, the irons, the ball, every spring purchase that promised you back the yards you think age took. That is exactly what I spent the last stretch of my life writing down, because a video only holds so much. 3 books, more than 360 pages of testing, and plain arithmetic on the 3 numbers. Every fitter checks, and no salesperson ever volunteers. You will learn how to read compression and loft claims before you hand over a card, how to run weekend tests that pull back 20 to 40 yards from clubs already sitting in your garage, and how to walk out of any fitting bay with your money still in your pocket. If you want the whole thing, scan the QR code right there on your screen, link in the description, pinned comment, same books, whichever route you prefer. But the fitting failure is the part that costs you most, and it is worth saying plainly. The third thing, and this is the one that actually costs golfers real strokes, is that the expensive putter you bought off the rack was almost certainly never fit to you. And that right there is where the whole industry quietly fails you. They will sell you $400 of milled steel and let you walk out the door with a putter that is the wrong length and the wrong lie angle for your body. That mistake is costing you putts on every single hole, and nobody at the register is going to mention it because the fix does not make them any extra money. Which brings me to the part of this video that matters most. And I need you to lean in here because this next section is specifically for you if you are watching this thinking you are not about to run out and buy a new putter at all. Maybe you love the putter you already own. Maybe you have had it for 10 years and you trust it. Good. Keep it. Because what I am about to show you will make the putter already in your bag roll better this weekend, and it will not cost you a dime. Let me talk about length, because this is the silent killer, and it hits taller and older golfers the hardest. The standard putter length sold in almost every store is 35 inches. That number is not based on the human body. It is based on what is cheap and easy for manufacturers to stock. Here is the truth that fitting data has shown over and over. The large majority of amateur golfers are actually better fit for a putter between 33 and 34 inches. Most of us are playing a putter that is an inch or two too long, and we have no idea. Why does that wreck your putting? When the putter is too long, you have to stand too far from the ball, or you choke the extra length by bending your elbows out, and your eyes end up inside the target line instead of over the ball. When your eyes are inside the line, your brain sees the line wrong, and you push putts out to the right without ever knowing why. I did this for years. I aimed right of the hole on nearly every putt and blamed my stroke. Here is the free fix. Take your putter to a mirror or a window where you can see your reflection at address, set up like you are going to putt. Now take a golf ball, hold it against the bridge of your nose, and let it drop. If your eyes are correctly over the ball, the drop ball lands on top of or just inside your golf ball on the ground. If it lands well inside your feet, towards you, your putter is too long for how you stand and your eyes are behind the line. The instant fix that costs nothing. Choke down on the grip, move your hands an inch, even 2 inches down the handle. Watch what happens. Your posture shifts, your eyes move out over the ball, and your aim corrects itself. I did this with my own gamer, and my start line straightened out immediately. If choking down feels good after a couple of rounds, you can have any club builder cut the shaft down permanently for around $15 to $20, and now your old putter fits you better than the $400 one on the rack ever would. That one adjustment, eyes over the ball, is worth more strokes than any milled face on earth, and you already own the putter it works on. While we are fixing the putter you already have, let me give you the second free adjustment, and this one is about loft, and it matters more than ever if you play on the kind of greens most of us play, which are not tour fast. Every putter has a little loft built into the face, usually around 3 or 4 degrees, and there is a reason. At address, your golf ball sits down in the grass just slightly, and that loft lifts it up out of its little resting spot and gets it rolling on top of the turf instead of skidding and bouncing. Here is the mistake I see constantly, and I made it too. Guys press their hands way forward at address because someone told them to, and they take all the loft off the putter. The ball comes off with no lift, digs into the grass, bounces, and rolls out short and offline. Then they blame the putter. Set up with your hands just slightly ahead of the ball or even level with it, not jammed forward. Let the putter present its loft the way it was designed to. On slower or grainier greens especially, you will see the ball start rolling smoothly almost immediately instead of hopping. That is a free improvement on the club you already own, no purchase required. Now, therefore, if length and loft and eyes over the ball matter this much and they cost nothing, you should be asking the natural next question: is there a putter design that actually solves the biggest miss for me automatically so my stroke does not have to be perfect? And the answer is yes. And this is the discovery I have been building toward, the one almost nobody in your regular foursome knows about. Let me set it up properly, because this is the payoff. For the entire history of putting, there has been a hidden flaw baked into almost every putter ever made, and it has a name. It is called torque. When you take the putter back and through, the shaft connects to the head off to the side, up near the heel. Because the connection is off center, gravity is constantly trying to twist that face open during your stroke. Every putter you have ever owned has been fighting you, quietly trying to rotate the face open, and your hands have had to manage that twist on every single stroke without you knowing it. That is why your face angle at impact is so inconsistent. That is why some days you make everything and some days you push and pull the same 6-footer. The industry knew about this. Robot testing has shown for years that face angle at impact is the single biggest factor in whether a putt goes in from short range. Far bigger than path. Get the face just a degree or two open at impact on a 10-footer and you miss. And yet for decades, the fix stayed buried because putters that looked traditional sold better, and the traditional design had this torque flaw built right in. Then a small company got obsessed with fixing it. The result is a technology called lie angle balance, and the brand most associated with it is LAB Golf, though the idea is what matters more than the name. Instead of the face wanting to twist open under gravity, the head is engineered and weighted so that at your natural playing lie angle, the face wants to stay square all by itself through the stroke. The torque that has been fighting you your whole life gets canceled out. The putter does the work your hands used to have to do. Here's why this is the real secret, not just more marketing. When these lie angle balance designs got put on putting robots in front of independent testers, the face stayed dramatically more square through impact without any manipulation from the hands. For the average golfer who fights a twitchy face and cannot figure out why some days the putts fall and some days they lip out, a putter that stays square on its own is a genuine, measurable, stroke-saving change. It is not jewelry. It is not a name on the back. It is physics finally working for you instead of against you. Now, here is the honest part, because I promised you honesty, and I am not going to suddenly switch to selling. Those lie angle balance putters are not cheap. Many of them sit up in that $300 to $400 range that I have spent this whole video telling you that you do not need to reach. So how do I square that circle like this? If you're going to spend premium money on a putter, this is the one and only reason worth spending it. Do not spend $400 for milling. Do not spend it for a name. Do not spend it for a soft click your hands like. If you are going to spend it on a design that actually fixes a measurable flaw in your stroke, the face twisting open, that no amount of practice fully cures. That is the only premium feature I've found in all my testing that gives you something the $80 Cleveland cannot. Everything else at the high end is a story. This one is a stroke. And if that is out of your budget, you have lost nothing because you already have the free fixes. Get your eyes over the ball by choking down, present the proper loft, pick a high stability mallet under $200 if you struggle with off-center hits. You will putt better than the guy who spent $400 and never had his putter fit to his body. That is the whole truth, and now you have it. Let me pull it all together so you can act on it this weekend, because a verdict you cannot use is worthless. If you have under $100, buy the Cleveland Huntington Beach SOFT in a head shape you like, or grab a used Odyssey White Hot for even less. You are giving up nothing that shows up on the scorecard. If you have between $100 and $200, this is the sweet spot for the smart golfer. The Odyssey White Hot OG gives you tour-proven roll and feel. The TaylorMade Spider gives you forgiveness that keeps your mishits close. Either one is a putter you can play for the rest of your life and never once feel out-clubbed. If you truly have premium money to spend and you want it to actually mean something, skip the milled trophy and buy a lie angle balanced design that keeps the face square for you. That is the only high-end feature I've found that pays you back in strokes instead of ego. And whatever you own right now, today, before you spend a single dollar, do the nose drop test in the mirror, choke down until your eyes sit over the ball, and let the putter show its loft. Those 3 free moves will do more for your putting than the last 3 putters you bought combined. I know, because they did more for mine. Here's what I want you to feel walking away from this. You are not the guy who gets sold anymore. You are the guy who knows the $400 price tag is mostly a story, who knows the $40 Wilson rolls it just as true, and who knows the real strokes are hiding in a free adjustment the pro shop never mentioned. You took the knowledge back. That is worth more than any putter. If you play the way I think you play, you did not get into this game to be somebody's easy sale. You got into it to shoot lower scores and enjoy the walk, and honest information is the only thing that actually gets you there. So let me ask you something specific, and I really do want you to answer. What length putter are you playing right now? And after hearing about the 33 to 34 inch fitting truth, do you think yours has been too long this whole time? Drop it in the comments below. Tell me the model you play and whether you are going to try choking down this weekend. I read them and I answer. If you are the kind of golfer who would rather know the truth than be flattered by a price tag, then you are exactly who this channel is for, and I would be glad to have you with the rest of us who refuse to be overcharged. Subscribe and stay with me, because the next test I am putting up may be even more uncomfortable than this one. I took the 3 most expensive golf balls in the game and rolled them against a $25 box on a launch monitor, and the spin numbers off the wedge were close enough that somebody at those ball companies is not going to be happy with me. And if you want all of this in one place, the free guide link below lays out every one of these fixes so you can take it to the range without pausing the video. You have the truth now. Go use it and go make some putts. Before you go, one honest word. This video gave you the overview, but inside the Honest Fairway Club, I show you the full launch monitor data, every putter tested tier by tier. And you can ask me your own question, and a real person, me, answers you myself. You'd be joining senior golfers like you already inside. Just point your phone's camera at the code on the screen, and you can cancel anytime, no risk. Now that your putter is sorted, let's fix what happens just before it. I'll show you a simple chipping technique that saved one golfer 6 strokes his very first round. It's starting right here.